Competition aerobatics is guided by two books that define how competitors compose and fly flight programs and how contests are run. The first is the IAC catalog. The second is the official contest rules. The contest rules prescribe how contests are organized, are run, how judges are certified, how competitors compose free programs, criteria for scoring figures. Every judge should have a copy of the rulebook on hand in printed or electronic form. You can download it from the IAC website and there is no charge. The official contest rules are updated every year. Candidate regional judges should start with Chapter 2, Qualifications, and Chapter 8, Criteria for Judging Aerobatic Figures. As you can see from the table of contents, there are actually 8 chapters and 7 appendices that cover everything that is needed to know about contests, participating in contests, flight programs, and creating flight programs. Chapter 1 of the rulebook describes all of the volunteer jobs that it takes to organize and run a contest, starting with the contest director, the contest jury, the chief judge, right down to all of the grading judges, assistant judges, and recorders that observe every competition flight. The table of organization shows that it takes 20 to 25 volunteers to make a contest successful. Rulebook section 2.6.1 specifies the study, classroom, and field training required of candidate regional judges. There are 5 steps. First, you complete the Introduction to IAC and the IAC language training, either online or in the classroom. Second, you complete the Practical Aerobatic Judging classroom training. That you serve as an assistant judge at a contest for a number of competition flights. You work with a regional or national judge to obtain practical experience scoring flight programs. And finally, you pass an oral written practical exam administered by a national judge and a second regional or national judge. The focus of the study for a candidate regional judge is on the IAC catalog, Learning the Language, and on Contest Rulebook Chapter 8, Criteria for Judging Aerobatic Figures, to learn what to look for as the competitor flies past at 200 miles an hour. The goal for a judge is to see and grade all of the big and small differences in figure execution that separates the merely good competitors from the really good competitors. And at a contest, judges are the subject matter experts on the rules. Judges serve on the contest jury. IAC chapters across the United States and Canada host more than 45 competitions each year. Pilots of all abilities put their skills on display, try to outscore their peers, earn bragging rights, and just socialize with their fellow acronauts. The pictures shown here illustrate some of the competitors and their aircraft. IAC aerobatic competition is built around a ladder of levels of competition that invites pilots to compete with peers of similar skill levels and to climb a ladder of increasing challenge. The power competition categories and the flight programs that they fly are shown in the table here. Primary pilots fly the known program for up to 3 flights. That is, the known is their free and unknown also. Sportsman pilots are allowed to fly the known program for 3 flights, or to fly a known and then a free program of their own design twice. Glider pilots also compete in categories organized to offer increasing levels of difficulty. The glider competition categories and the flight programs that they fly are shown here. As with power pilots, sportsman glider pilots are allowed to fly the known program for 3 flights, or they may fly a known and a free program of their own design twice. The performance zone for a competition flight is called the box. It is 1,000 meters wide and 1,000 meters deep. The top and the floor of the box for power competitors are shown here. Most importantly, each competition category has a different floor altitude, which is set based on the expected skill level and experience of the competitors in those categories. The performance zone for glider competitors is shown here. Since gliders have different flight characteristics than power competitors, there are slightly different upper limits and floors for their competition box. You will notice in the previous illustration and in this one that there will be markings on the ground outlining the X and Y limits of the box. The markers are actually placed slightly inside where boundary judges are located, and the competitors have a slight buffer before they are actually judged to be out of the performance zone. Contests are run by volunteers. The contest director has overall responsibility for planning and running the contest. There will be a chief judge who oversees the judges line, boundary, and deadline judges, starters, and tow pilots for supervising the competition flights. There will be a contest jury. You can see from this diagram that there are a number of other officials who coordinate the volunteers, safety. There's a technical committee, the registrar, scoring director, and a number of other volunteers that are required to make the contest run. Looking at the contest jobs, the registrar organizes all of the contest paperwork. The starter works with the contest director and chief judge to launch competitors into the performance zone in the planned order. The scoring director runs the scoring computer and posts the scores after each competition category completes their flight program. The volunteer coordinator creates the roster of volunteers, assigns volunteers to jobs, and makes sure that all the volunteers are in their assigned place at the correct time. And the safety director creates an incident response plan and makes sure that any safety issues on contest day are addressed. The contest has two committees that are staffed by volunteers on contest day. The jury is appointed by the contest director and is comprised of really experienced individuals who know the rules and can make sure that any protests are decided in accordance with the rules. The technical committee includes a chief judge, the contest director, and the chief technical monitor, and they're responsible for the pre-contest aircraft inspections and verification of paperwork. Competitors are graded by judges that are located on the y-axis of the performance zone and preferably 300 to 500 feet back with a clear view of the entire performance zone. There will be 3 to 10 grading teams overseen by the chief judge. Each team is a regional or national judge who grades the competitor's execution of the figures. That judge will have an assistant who reads the flight program to the grading judge, and a recorder that writes down the comments that the grading judge speaks and the score for each figure.